I'm so happy that you guys are working on this right now, and I'm really, really appreciating the civility tonight. Thank you. I'm Tom Francis. So anyway, I think the most important thing to understand, and it's very simple, and I feel like some of the people that speak to this try to really complicate the issue, and it's not that complicated. Here's the bottom line, okay? Wages for many people that live in Ojai that are renters are going like this. Rents are going like that. That's what's happening. And you guys don't need to wait to figure that out, okay? That's what's going on. That's what pushes people out. And the Tenant Protection Act only offers people, it's basically an anti-gouging law. It is not rent stabilization, because a 10% increase does not stabilize their lives. Okay, so rent stabilization is the fastest and most effective thing that you guys can do. And it's up to your discretion. It's up to you guys to use your discretion to implement this thing now, so people don't lose their homes while you guys are discussing it in some committee and getting input from multiple entities. This is not rocket science. It's really simple, okay? Protect the people that are here now in their rentals, that are having rent going up, rent goes up and their wages don't, okay? Very simple. There was a mention of enforcement, that you guys may not have enough money to enforce. Other cities, if you look at their rent stabilization ordinances, there's cities that have done this for decades. City of Los Angeles, City of West Hollywood, City of Santa Monica, City of Oakland, City of San Francisco. They all deal with these problems, okay? So there's this thing called the private attorney general provision. So what that does is it makes it so that private attorneys can represent tenants that are abused by their landlords at no cost to the city.
Who pays?
The attorneys would work on contingency. So if there's an egregious thing that happens to a tenant, the attorney will take the case and they basically roll the dice, okay? So also there was a mention that Los Angeles is a bad example, but then it was mentioned by that same speaker that we should look at Oxnard. Oxnard's the 10th largest city in the state. So to make the assertion that we should look at Oxnard but not Los Angeles is ridiculous. It's a huge city. One other thing, I guess my closing comment is just slowing down means that more people are going to lose their homes in Ojai, just like you did, Susan. So don't slow it down. Thanks. Good evening, Mayor and council members. A majority of Ojai residents do not enjoy the stability and peace of mind that comes with home ownership. It is well known that many of the renters in our community are at risk of being forced out of their town due to the fact that their wages cannot keep pace with rapidly escalating rents. The most effective thing this Ojai City Council can do to protect Ojai renters from crushing market forces is to enact rent stabilization that applies to rental units in our town where it is allowed under current state law. I strongly encourage the council to pass an ordinance tonight. I think you're going to hear from many people, and you've heard it already quite a bit actually from Councilmember Rule, that there may be unintended consequences. The rent stabilization ordinance might not be perfect, and that very well may be the case, that it's not perfect. But the good news is, if there's something that needs improvement with an ordinance that you were to pass the first reading of tonight and potentially pass a second reading at the next council meeting, if there was something that needed to be approved, 2 council members or the mayor can put it on the agenda, and you guys can discuss it and make that improvement, make that change, deal with that unintended consequence. Thank you.
Excuse me, just a
Thank
point.
you, Tom.
I have one question for you.
Hold on a minute. Actually, I want to finish my comments. I forgot to say one thing.
Well, I think your time's up. I just wanted to point out that
time is not up.
Excuse me.
I think, Tom, you stopped early.
Yeah, I did stop early. So I just have one thing that I forgot to say, and I'm going to say it.
Then,
And then
well,
after that,
okay.
you can ask me a question.
Okay. All right.
So thank you. Anyway, the Simply Ojai did online petition, and it's received 182 signatures from City of Ojai residents, and it's received 30 from county area residents. There's also another petition that was circulated that was similar in nature. I don't know the numbers on that because I didn't get a chance to look, but go ahead with your question.
No, it's actually just, I was going to correct some numbers, that the home ownership rate in Ojai is 53%, so it is not, so renters are not the majority of people in Ojai. I just want to correct that. And likewise, the previous speaker got the numbers mixed up, that 58% of renter households in Ojai are cost burdened, not 97%. The numbers are in our housing element. I just want to correct the figures because.
You're looking at me, but I didn't talk to you.
No. You did say something about the majority of people in Ojai were renters. That's not correct. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that if you're going to come up and say a fact, or if someone's going to come up and say a fact and give some numbers, and Mayor Sticks is going to ask them to repeat it, I want it to be correct. And I just spent a whole bunch of time looking at the housing element. So I need the numbers to be correct, you know?
So it's my understanding that a majority of the people that live in Ojai are renters. So we can agree to disagree.
You can make up your own numbers.
Next, we have Jeff Otterbein, then Bill Miley,